What is it about your children being with Brooke Muller that scares you so much? Take us through why you tweeted that out and the meaning behind it.
You got about 2 hours?
We got some time.
It is well, it starts with the original report that led to them being removed from her. That if you remove it from a DCFS report and put it into a criminal report, there's child endangerment descriptions in there that I think would lead to 10 years in prison.
How bad is
it?
Can you give us some of the worst stuff?
It's a horror show. It's a horror show. It's the kids being around drugs, being around paraphernalia, being around drug dealers, very nefarious type people that come and go. It's a house filled with creeps and cretins that have no business being around children, Brooke included.
Charlie, what you've just said suggests that you believe Brooke is using again. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. I don't have any actual proof, but based on the reports that her monitor gives to us and back to DCFS, it is in its finest moment. It is a work of fiction, and knowing Brooke as well as I do, and Denise knowing her as well as she does, the woman only lies when she speaks. And just recently had purchased 12 freaking Chinese water dragon lizards and several tarantulas, and have led to night terrors for Bob, who cannot get through a night without waking up screaming about lizard monsters and spider monsters, and it's just the wrong environment for any child, much less my own.
Charlie, you have indicated that your kids are emotionally damaged now as a result of Brooke. Is that a fair statement, and can you tell us how that's manifesting itself?
That is an absolute fair statement. And what happens is when they leave for the visits with her, they're fine, and when they come back, they're completely incorrigible. They're completely there's no logic. There's no rationale. They throw stuff at the girls. They kick the dogs. They attack Denise. It's Jekyll and Hyde behavior that is a direct result from the visits at Brooke's house, where she's not supposed to be, by the way. She's not supposed to be living in the house that I bought for the boys, when she said the whole time that she was in rehab. And it's as I said, that all of their reports in their finest moment are an absolute work of fiction.
We talked a little bit earlier about this. The worst case scenario is anything physically happening to your children. You told me one of the examples. Can you take us through anything happening to them physically when they come back from being with Brooke?
Yeah, there was an incident where Denise is really smart, and she always photographs the children before they leave and then photographs them when they come back. And one particular incident, a few weeks ago, Bob left looking, as handsome as Bob is. He's a handsome kid, so is Max.
He looks just like you.
Thank you. And when he returned, there was a rash on his face that looked like someone had stuck him in an easy bake oven or a tanning bed for an hour. And they claimed that it was, her mom, who's as bad as she is, claims that was there when the kids left.
So this is obviously to you an emergency. What do you do legally and physically to stop this from happening today?
I will exercise every resource at my disposal. I will empty my entire war chest, and if I can't get it done, I know a guy who can.
Now, they're nearby, right? I mean, from what I understand, from where we're sitting, Brooke and Denise and the kids are within, 100 yards of us.
Yeah.
Can't you just walk over there?
It's a house I'm not allowed to visit without a monitor.
I see.
Yeah, because I'm the threat,
Because I have children, I seem to think if someone's hurting my children, I'm over there.
You're in.
I'm down the street.
Yeah.
I'm at the door.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you have no recourse.
I can't do that. But what I will do tonight, because it's their first overnight with her, is I will post a couple of members of my security team outside the house all night, and if they hear anything, they have the order to go in.
Now, are these kids showing this kind of aggressive behavior, not just at home, but is this affecting their lives at school? How badly damaged are these kids?
They're basically telling us that if the behavior does not improve, they're going to have to be removed from the school that they're at, and probably homeschooled with somebody with a military background. Yeah, no, it's so unacceptable what's happening, and they're not that I'm an expert, but I've done some research, and they're displaying every symptom of fetal alcohol syndrome.
Wow.
This girl went to rehab twice, pregnant.
Well, you were with her when she was at that time.
Yeah.
So you're saying you think she could be causes of physical stuff
Absolutely.
like fetal alcohol syndrome?
Absolutely. When they were in utero, yeah, absolutely.
There are people who have been contacting us, and frankly, we had a discussion about this earlier this morning in the room. There were some people who were saying, look, Charlie never took custody of the kids before when he could have, and it ended up defaulting to Denise. What do you say to those people who say, look, you weren't really a present dad in that full parenting sense, and this may be too little too late?
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I think anytime someone steps up to do the right thing, that's the right time for it. But it was based on my work schedule, where we're doing, as you know, 2 shows a week, and I'm doing 100 pages a week and putting in probably 75-hour weeks, and so it was either have the kids basically live with me on the set or stay with Denise. That's why the move was made. It was based on work.
So you're not just upset about with Brooke. My understanding is you're also very upset with the Department of Children and Family Services.
I am very upset with them. Yeah, they don't. Their reports are not what takes place. There's obviously some bribery taking place. There's obviously something going on that is leading those reports to be glowing, and here we are tonight on the verge of their first overnight, and I just find that as unacceptable as anything I can imagine. They're being sent back to the House of Horrors. When Bob came back and saw the house the first time, meaning Brooke's house, he said literally, quote, "Oh no, I'm back at the crazy house," and the monitor was standing right there, and suddenly that's not in the report. That's the type of stuff that they're omitting, and it's just everybody's under Brooke's spell again, which I don't know how. She's one of the most incompetent losers I've ever encountered, ever. And thanks, AA. I was sober when I married her.
Well, I was going to say, you called her in your tweet, and they can see at home some of your tweet. You called her a whore.
I did.
Literally a whore, or do you mean?
No, I just mean that in her mindset, in her behavior, like that. Yeah, it's just a word I use sometimes. Not in the literal sense.
Charlie, what precipitated this today? You've been silent for a long time, as really has everyone in this whole thing. Today, there was an explosion. Did something happen aside from the overnight tonight? Did something happen that triggered all of this?
It was it was finally hearing one more time. Bob was walking around looking at all the costumes and all the kids in the neighborhood trick-or-treating, and he said, "What is this? What is all this?" He'd never been trick-or-treating before. They've never had a Christmas tree. They don't know who the Tooth Fairy is. They don't know who the Easter Bunny is. They've never had a holiday celebration at her house. And also, when I was paying this clown $55,000 a month child support, we had a forensic accountant go in and discovered that probably between $2,000 and $3,000 at max was going to the children. They showed up wearing clothes one day at Denise's house in Hidden Hills, and one of her nannies, who's from Central America, said that in her village, that the children that she grew up with were dressed better than Bob and Max showing up, which I found just unacceptable.
You going to go to court?
Unacceptable.
You going to go? You going to go to
hell
court?
Yeah. Hell yeah! I'll be there early. It's on.
Okay,
it's on.
well,
Enough.
Charlie, look, I think you've made your point, and we very much appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me the time.